Ghoulash here, and welcome to another entry of
The Ghoulog.
We're finally here, the last review of an Addams Family film, the 2021 sequel to the 2019 computer-animated Addams Family movie.
You shaved your entire body as a teenager?
The first one wasn't very good, but hey, Addams Family Values managed to be a sequel better than the original. Addams Family 2 could at least be better than its predecessor. Not that that would be saying much.
I can't believe parents let their children go out like this. They're all so clean.
The sequel begins with Wednesday presenting a project at her school's science fair. She has fused her Uncle Fester's DNA with that of an octopus, thus making him good at solving Rubik's Cubes, I guess.
Is there a single person in the history of the world who's made more of a breakthrough?
Signaling that this movie is essentially just a spiritual successor to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Wednesday's project is commended by the hologram of a scientist by the name of Cyrus Strange, played by Bill Hader.
Imagine what would happen if we combined your data with the proper resources.
But their moment together is cut short when Wednesday's family burns her school down. Well, there are worse things that a group of people wearing black could do in an American public school.
With every meaningless trophy, I become more and more unremarkable.
Afterwards, Wednesday wants nothing to do with the rest of her family. So Gomez arbitrarily takes that as a signal that they should go on a cross-country road trip.
We'll take a family road trip.
In the Addams camper in order to bond together. Basically, the movie is a kinda forced remake of the 1973 Addams Family cartoon series by Hanna-Barbera, where the family also goes on a cross-country road trip in their creepy camper.
I thought you were in the arms of a strange man.
Gomez, you know you're the only strange man for me.
There's not a whole lot of plot to this TV show premise by itself, though, so a lawyer, played by Wallace Shawn, approaches Gomez and Morticia before their trip, revealing that their daughter was switched at birth, and not their real biological daughter, but they just think it's a prank, bro.
There's nothing amusing about this. And this is far from over.
There isn't much of a story to Addams Family 2 to really get engaged with initially. It's really just an excuse to have the Addams Family go on a road trip and sell children an insurance plan from Progressive.
What do I keep saying? Amazon Prime is not a toy.
The main story is just sort of slowly developed in the background of an aimless journey, but it's revealed that Fester, who should not be allowed near children to begin with, found his way into the maternity ward baby Wednesday was kept in, and shuffled around all of the babies, which is as disturbing as it sounds.
And sure enough, they all fell asleep.
And it leads to Wednesday and her parents beginning to truly doubt that she is an Addams, with her parents trying to keep her away from the lawyer, attempting to reunite her with her supposed true parents.
What shall we play?
How about Punch Buggy?
So yeah, like the previous Addams Family film, this sequel is also focused on Wednesday, and that especially doesn't work to this film's benefit. This animated film's version of Wednesday is an attempt to emulate the deadpan portrayal of the character pioneered by Christina Ricci.
Squad goals.
But this take on Wednesday is way too deadpan for her own good.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Chloe Grace Moritz just sounds bored voicing this character who is incapable of expressing any emotions. She's not even really deadpan, just monotone. And that wasn't really the case in either the original Addams cartoons or the live-action movies. It just makes for a dull, one-note character who is difficult to connect with. The Christina Ricci Wednesday was dark and brooding, sure, but she was still able to channel other emotions in her portrayal, go to other places as the character in order to make Wednesday feel fleshed out instead of a lifeless husk like recent portrayals.
Guilty by her own admission. The sentence is death. Executioner, place her on the block.
The film tries to make up for this obvious shortcoming, though, with a subplot for the other Addams child, Puggsley. Because even though he's the least popular character in the franchise, they keep insisting to try to make him a focus in these animated films.
Now that's grand.
In this case, Puggsley is trying to get a girlfriend. Not any particular girl, mind you, just a girlfriend in general. And Fester, an incel, attempts to aid his nephew in the pursuit of getting laid, which is as creepy as it sounds, but thankfully ends in failure throughout the film.
Why didn't I get dating advice from him?
Puggsley in this movie is also no longer played by Finn Wolfhard for some reason, instead being played by that kid from Euphoria, and this voice manages to fit Puggsley even less than Finn Wolfhard did.
That's awesome!
Oh, there's also a subplot where Grandmama throws a rave in her family's mansion, because even though she doesn't have anything to do in the plot, the filmmakers still feel the need to give Grandmama something to do, because they probably have Bette Midler under contract. And why not have it be something wacky and random, like an old lady organizing a rave? It's not something most old ladies do. It's funny, right? It's not? It's not funny? Okay.
Ew! Refund, please!
No. Let's not be hasty.
These are all just distractions, including the premise itself. The previous film didn't have a whole lot going for it. So just make a movie where every 10 minutes it has a different setting, so it at least feels like something is happening, and for the most part, it at least works better than the first movie's static, boring locations did. At the very least, the sequel looks nicer. The Niagara Falls scene looks lovely, and there are plenty of other varied animated renditions of famous locales like it to grab your attention.
You've always wanted to see more of this great country.
Well, it's true.
Still, some pretty locations aren't exactly reason enough to make a movie like this, or watch it for that matter. That feels like it's just killing time without going anywhere, but trying its best to make you feel like you're going on a journey by changing the scenery and having some goofy hijinks happen. Like, hey, the family meets Cousin It in Miami, still played by Snoop Dogg, and he shows up in the film doing some cool tricks on a wave runner. But after that, he doesn't do anything else for the duration of his appearance, and then 10 minutes later, he leaves on a private jet because he's the cool Cousin It, played by Snoop Dogg. Cousin It's doing so much cool shit we don't get to see. Isn't that awesome?
Tell that Billie Eilish she's a little too sunny for my taste. But I'm still a fan.
Then at another point, to pass some time, the film has a very misguided sequence where the family hides out from the lawyer pursuing them by going incognito at a child's beauty pageant, with Wednesday forced to participate, and it's almost as bad as Cuties.
Hope I know it like I did.
This isn't the end of the movie's cringe, though. Later, a disillusioned Wednesday runs away from the family with Lurch in tow, and they happen upon a biker bar. I think you see where this is going. The movie rips off the classic tequila scene from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but make sure its ripoff is as terrible as possible, with Lurch singing a cover of I Will Survive, with the pissed off bikers jamming out to the tune. This is just a goth Minions movie. Ultimately, after all the padding is finally out of the way, the actual plot is introduced with Wednesday meeting who she believes to be her true family. Her father, Cyrus Strange, the mad doctor with the same ass light bulb shaped head that Wednesday has, Strange's wife, Ingrid, who looks like a vulture with big titties, and Strange's daughter, Ophelia, who is supposedly the true Addams daughter.
Let's go see the laboratory. Don't look at them.
The Addams family shows up for Wednesday, but she's already willing to forsake them.
Where once I was Addams, now I am Strange. Zip it, Puggsley.
Also, Puggsley falls in love with Ophelia, who he is just introduced to as his true biological sister. So this adds even more confirmation that the Addams family engages in incest. Ultimately, though, it's revealed that, surprise, Cyrus Strange is not Wednesday's father after all. He was just using her because of her human-animal hybrid experiments.
They always revert back to their original form, though.
Cyrus is essentially a furry, but he can't turn animals into humans for very long, which is where Wednesday's knowledge came in.
These people are still my family.
But Strange is thwarted effortlessly by Lurch. Or so they thought, as Strange is turned into a chimera, the beast from Revelations. But guess what else? Uncle Fester was also turned into an octopus monster, and the two abominations against God wage an epic battle. Yeah! Ultimately, Fester wins the fight, and Strange, falls to his death, I guess. Also, Strange's daughter Ophelia, the pig, is turned into a full human, and Puggsley embraces his animal hybrid lover. Okay. I don't know what kind of message this movie's trying to teach to kids, but if you've ever wanted to see Puggsley hook up with a human/pig hybrid, this movie's got you covered. You fucking weirdo. In the denouement, the Addams family return home and enjoy Grandmama's rave, and dance along to Cousin It's hip-hop performance.
Well, Addams, time to start planning the next family vacation.
Well, there is a brief 2D animated sequence before the credits, and it's honestly the only good part of this film. The Addams Family. Addams Family 2 is like its predecessor. Not a bad movie, but also far from good. It doesn't have any grasp on the franchise it adapts, and instead just relies on tired tropes seen in every other computer-animated movie released nowadays, and is even more transparently designed exclusively to sell products. If you got a long car ride ahead of you, your toddlers are better off watching a Hotel Transylvania movie. I give Addams Family 2 2 Wallace Shawns out of 5. I'm gonna be honest, Morticia wearing a cowboy outfit can get it. If you liked this video, like it, and if you loved it, click the subscribe and bell buttons for more vids. I'd also like to thank these fine folks pledged to Doc's shoutout tier on the Dr. Wolfula Patreon for all their kind support. Thank you for watching, see you next time, you fucking weirdos.